So this is an evaluation of the rehabilitation program of an injured ankle. So the phase 1 is the initial phase, so this is the first phase of the program. So within this first phase, we're going to be looking at RICE. So RICE is a breakdown, is rest, ice, compression, elevation. So do you know what that's for, why you use it?
Not really, not fully understand why at this moment.
No, that's fine. So we'll break it down. So the R stands for rest, which needs to be, the ankle needs to be rested for as long as possible. So that's without using the ankle, just like that picture there, it's not being used. The ice is to help reduce the swelling. So the ice and compression come together. So it needs to be, the ice is applied to help reduce the swelling, and the compression is there also to reduce the swelling. So that is to be done for 10 to 20 minutes 3 times a day. And it also needs to be elevated. If it's elevated above the heart, it's going to reduce the blood flow to the area, helping to reduce the swelling, just to keep the blood away from the area. So how do you feel this went in your programme?
It went okay. I was a bit restless when I was sat around not doing anything, because normally I get back to sport, but the swelling did go down and did feel a lot better resting it.
Yeah, so you feel you understood why that part was being done. You didn't feel the urge to have to go back.
No.
You understood that you had to wait to go back into sport. Yeah, that's good. So the next part of this is plantar and dorsiflexion. So do you know why this is used?
Is it to increase sort of the range of movement in the ankle area?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So it's exactly what you just said. It's to increase the range of movement in the ankle. This is done in a controlled way, as there's only 2 movements, so it's going as high as it can go and then as low as it can go, just like these pictures show here. So this movement is to be done for 10 repetitions 3 times a day. So how do you feel that went in your program?
During the beginning of it, it did start to hurt, because obviously I haven't used the ankle because I was resting it during RICE. But overall, it did help, as I could feel the range of movement starting to come back a little bit, but it did hurt when we first started.
Yeah, so you felt that now your range of movement to this point is larger than it was to start with, and to this point is larger than it was to start with as well.
Yeah, it felt a lot better as well.
Yeah, so that's good.